Sweetheart. I can't afford to be late for this meeting.
Give me the same excuse every day.
I always tell you the truth every... You know I will never disappoint you.
Everyone needs a hero, like Nokpa.
After Nokpa.
It is always Nokpa.
Nokpa for management of power.
Yes, you're welcome back from the show's commercial. Thank you very much for staying tuned with us. And if you're just joining us right now, this is News Review, and we've started with various stories of which made it to the headlines. So we'll continue the show with the new Naira notes, how CBN deceived Buhari, according to Oshiomhole. And I think this is actually funny because it's just a proposition or just kind of a presumption by Oshiomhole. The former national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Adams Oshiomhole, has claimed that the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has deceived President Muhammadu Buhari with the redesigning of the new Naira notes. He actually said that he actually said that all of the policy was aimed at scuttling this month's presidential election. He exonerated from Buhari from the all of the blame, and he's saying that the whole thing that CBN sold to Buhari was just the fact of anti-corruption motive. You know, Buhari actually has always been about anti-corruption, stopping corruption here and there. So it was a good one from CBN to make that a kind of bait to get Buhari. According to him, he said, I can guess, I was not there, that in obtaining the approval, I believe that CBN deceived President Muhammadu Buhari by amplifying the need to have corruption-free electioneering, as if that was the only thing, the only project that President Muhammadu Buhari is responsible for. So he actually said that Buhari did not have any difficulty in agreeing to this because of his position when it comes to corruption alleviation. He now said that Nigerian political parties have been seeing this as a means to maybe to deter them from having election and all of that, but he knows that it is not Buhari's fault. It's just because of what they sold to him that is making him feel that it is necessary.
So what deceit is that? Is there in that? There's no form of deceit in that now.
Okay.
Now, okay, one other thing they said the redesigning is to prevent vote buying.
Yeah, sure.
And I don't think Buhari will be in support of vote buying. Okay. So of course, even if that was okay, like Oshiomhole said, he's also he's assuming, okay, this was actually, maybe this was what happened, I wasn't there, let me just guess. So I wouldn't even want to, state my own facts on Oshiomhole. Now, I don't think Buhari would be in support of vote buying. So okay. I want to believe that the whole redesign, Buhari supported it with his full chest.
And that I get your point, but considering what Oshiomhole said,
yeah,
he's saying that they've actually sold the whole thing to Buhari in the disguise of electioneering process, having a free and fair election. According to him, election is not the only thing that will happen in Nigeria.
Of course.
So he's now talking based on the whole effects to which this redesigning has cost Nigerians, the hoarding, the issue people are facing.
Of course.
So now he's not saying that Buhari was blinded by just electioneering process, because they know so well that he would want a free and fair election. He would want a corruption-free kind of society without him having to think further or make further questioning that, okay, to what end, on what grounds, what happens afterwards, after election, what happens to Nigerian. I'm just trying to picture
is that, should we say that is based on what we are experiencing as a result of the whole redesigning? Of course, even Emefiele, the CBN governor that brought about the motive, that brought about the suggestion of redesigning, would not have ever thought of the fact that Nigeria would have to go through hardship.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
Okay.
We can't be sure. And even if that is the case, I feel like it might just be for a while. Maybe at the start of, the whole thing, maybe
Like 6
about
months?
a week or two.
This has been more than a week or two.
That's what I'm saying. Probably about a week or two, at least a week or two, just to readjust to the old policy, and everything will be fine.
Okay.
I'm sure even the CBN would not have thought of the fact that we would be going through what we are going through right now. Okay, now, was it CBN that asked banks to be ordering the money?
Okay.
Did CBN ever think of the fact that even banks will not dispense the money that was given to them? So it's still... Did CBN ever think of the fact that Nigerians ourselves will still sell money to us? Do you know, okay, fine, we understand that it's very hard to get this money from the bank. We understand that fact. But then people get it, it's hard, but people still make life difficult for other people as a result of it. So is it CBN, while Emefiele was thinking, he would have thought, people will sell the money, people will do this, people will do that. So it is basically... I don't know why I'm laughing actually, but I feel like
anything the way Bofi is just talking right now. I want to believe she's in the head of CBN governor, she's in the head of Buhari, she's in the head of Oshiomhole. I'm trying to make justification for CBN. I'm not trying to see.
Wait. I'm not trying to justify Emefiele. He's not my father. He's not my dad. I don't know him.
Okay.
Yes, I'm not trying to justify anything. I'm just trying to. Now let's be realistic. I'm just trying to state from my own perspective what I feel the whole thing is about.
The whole scenario.
Exactly. So if Oshiomhole is saying that Buhari was deceived, if actually they said, this money is to fight corruption, and at the end of the day, although he's not fighting corruption, because at the end of the day, he's not even fighting corruption.
Okay, let's look at it from the point of terrorists. Coming, is the tenacity for me. Is the audacity,
the temerity, like
coming out.
I have 10 million naira.
You see that new naira that you guys are fighting, that you want to die because of it, or at the ATM cube, killing yourself and fainting in banking halls. We have it in excess. We even bought ammunitions with this money. Because is it like the redesigning has even done half of what it was designed for? According to Emefiele, he actually said that the redesigning was not in any way to inflict suffering on Nigerians, but to curb terrorism, to curb kidnapping and requesting for ransom, to curb all kind of electioneering buying of votes. Yes. To curb those people that spray excess money in parties. To curb Nigerian legal tender becoming an image of ridicule when it comes to other countries' naira notes. Other countries' notes. Just to bring naira to be at the same level with dollar, and not having dollar going against or going ahead of naira note. But look at what is happening right now. If you go to the foreign markets, if you go to the market, the stock exchange market, it's getting worse and worse every day. Apparently, if you earn 1 naira for 2 years, you can't even. It has not amounted to just $2. Look at that. For 2 years, for 365 days. 365 days 2 times. And it has not amounted to naira. Yes, so that 365 naira. It hasn't even amounted to just $2 in 2 years. That's just how worthless naira is. So if we have actually said that, you came to Nigerians and you told us this is what we are trying to do, and everybody felt like, oh wow, that's good. At least if you can do this, redesign the naira note, then all of this will stop. Wow, let's go about it. So I'm just trying to just trying to understand what Oshiomhole was saying. I want us to also know the fact that at the mention of redesigning, a lot of people wanted it to bow. At the mention of the name of Jesus, every knee shall bow, that kind of thing. I'm sorry for going scriptural. But when Emefiele suggested redesigning of the naira notes, a lot of people did not want it to work. So I'm sure some forces are working against it working. They're working against the fact that the policy is going to work. So you see that terrorist that came out to say I have 10 million, it could be some set of people, trying to just make the whole effort worthless, because what use is the naira redesigning when actually what you intended for it to solve is not solving it. So I want to feel like you see that terrorist
Kachala is just I feel like it's being sponsored by those that doesn't want the whole thing to work. Because how did he get the money? Over 10 million naira. 10 million naira is a lot of money. So
just the same way we were talking about naira redesign, we have these people that have already said that if you should make any attempt to shift the deadline, then we will be backing out of any electioneering process this year. 13 political parties threatening to withdraw from 2023 election. Nigerian political parties have threatened to withdraw from the 2023 election over the central bank naira redesign policy. The chairman, the national chairman of Action Alliance, Kenneth Udeze, actually speaking and briefing about the coalition of chairmen and political parties in Abuja, said out of 13 of all political parties that are registered that will be partaking in the 2023 election, the February 25 and March 11 general election, he said 13 of them have agreed to withdraw from the electioneering processes if CBN should agree to shift the deadline, maybe forward or backward, I don't know. So he did not actually disclose the names of the 13 political parties, but he said that these 13 political parties would not be interested. And he said that we hereby announce that at least 13 out of 18 political parties in Nigeria will not be interested in 2023 general election. And indeed, we shall withdraw our participation from the electoral process if the currency policies are suspended or cancelled, or if the deadline is further shifted. So now, it will now say, okay, even to them, because earlier today in the news we got to know that Kaduna, Kogi and Zamfara state government have decided to drag federal government to court, Supreme Court at that, over this deadline of the new naira notes and the extension. So they are now saying that regardless of all of these things that these ones are doing, if federal government should bow to all of their requests and all of that, and CBN extends the old redesigning policy to a day, even if a second, then they will pull out of any electioneering processes come February 25 and March 11 respectively. 13
out of 18.
That's a whole lot.
See, sincerely speaking, I actually see no reason why there should still be an extension to the deadline of the redesigning. I mean, the old notes getting back into banks and all of those things. I mean, we've been given about a week and a half extension, and there should be nothing more. Because, okay, fine, when like I said earlier, when the old redesigning came up, it came as a shock to most of us. I mean, even the influentials, those that are very rich, those in power, they were like, Nibo, it's a joke, it cannot happen. When we call him Mifile is our son, and we listen, and that man, Mifile, God bless you, he didn't listen to them, you know, that kind of thing. And it came, like I was saying, it came as a shock to most of us. We didn't even think it was going to work. And as at just a day to the deadline, of course they extended it and all of those things, but there should not be an extension to it anymore. If truly, okay, fine, you said it was going to sort corruption, it has not sorted it, that's -1 already. You said it will sort to prevent vote buying. If you give an extension again, then a lot of people would engage in vote buying. What you don't want to happen would actually happen. And the whole, you know, making us go through, because the redesigning, the effect is more than, at least as of now, it's having more negative impacts on us. So the hardship people had gone through, the long queues
would multiply,
would be of no use.
Oh, that's true.
Because there should have been no point redesigning in the first place. If the two major things you intended for it to do, it will end up not doing it. At least we've had -1. Please, the remaining one, the standing one, let it stand until the end. I understand the fact that regardless of the fact that you don't want them to engage in vote buying and all of those things, people will still do it.
Of course.
People will still do it. But it will not be as rampant as it used to be.
It has even been curbed to some extent, because a lot of people know that when it comes to election period, we tend to see a lot of naira, you know, money flows.
Yeah, it does.
When you even get anywhere, you just see money. But right now, if you even have money, your money cannot even save if it is not cash at hand, like I said earlier.
Seriously.
If it is cash in bank, my love, you're gone.
You're gone.
Just the same way we're still talking about the redesigning, we have a lot of news on redesigning. And now we have CBN should have introduced 5,000 naira notes instead, says NACCILA. The Director General of Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, Shola Obadimu, says the Central Bank of Nigeria should have introduced 5,000 naira notes, 5,000 naira notes, just a paper, and it's 5,000 naira note, rather than redesigning the old notes. He actually said this in an interview with the news agency of Nigeria in Abuja on Monday. He said while the policy of the naira notes and all of that was actually commendable and laudable, there would have been less pressure, there would have been less agitation and problems on the masses if it was done differently. According to him, introducing a 5,000 naira note would have knocked out the money in circulation without creating such so much discomfort for Nigerians. He also specifically said that it is disheartening to note that naira is weak against foreign currencies, particularly to dollar and euro. He said that when the highest denomination of Nigeria is 1,000 naira, is only worth $2 at official rate, and it is not a good one for the image. He said that there are 50 and 100 euros, of which amounts to more that when you make the equivalent to naira, it's not even a match. So it felt like instead of making several notes, bleaching them, according to me, he did not say that, I'm not doing it to me. According to what Nigerians have done, the CBN, instead of bleaching the old naira note to have it to be bleached up to new naira note,
the feel it catches you in. The money they spent a lot of money
millions on
to print.
bleach.
They're calling it bleach.
No, not to print, to bleach.
Okay.
So instead of spending money to bleach money, you should have just made 5,000 naira notes as one. So, and they're looking at this now. I am starting to see some level of, I want to agree to some extent, and I want to disagree to some extent.
I wouldn't even agree.
Hold on, let me picture my own parts of it.
All right.
The reason I'm agreeing is the fact that, okay, fine, you're trying to retract the cash from the masses.
Yes.
The money that has been in circulation. If you introduce 5,000 naira as a note, just a note, a lot of people that has 5,000 naira with them, 1,000, would to some extent start adopting the 5,000 naira notes.
Okay.
So when they have it, at least instead of them having 5 papers with them, they have 1.
Okay.
So with that, you're reducing the effects of the other notes, and you are making wait. Okay. You are reducing the the whole idea was to go digital, paperless community, right? So if there are a lot of papers, let's withdraw the too much paper and we reduce it to 1 paper.
All right. So okay, at the process of reduction of the old paper, now you have 5,000 naira. You bought a good worth of 800 naira.
Okay.
And you give 5,000 naira, so you are collecting 4,200 naira in 200, 1,500. Then the person you want to reduce naira, and you would end up having too much cash on you.
Let me now come to the part where I say I disagree.
All right.
The reason this person is actually saying this is basically because of the exchange. You know, when we talk about the image of Nigeria, that okay, what is their highest denomination equivalent to? So at least to some extent we can say that even the highest naira notes that we have has a lot of dollars, unlike 1,000 naira that is just $2. So I think that is the angle to which it's coming from. So the reason I'm disagreeing is because of what you just stated. At the end of the day, we have too much money in circulation.
Actually, did you just say thank you? Actually, it is not our fight, it's our will. If our highest denomination is 100 naira and it has value on it, I mean it is not worthless as it is right now, then it is no big deal. It does not have to be much before it has any value. I feel like if we have 5,000 naira in a note, it would make naira depreciate a lot. People would not have the value on the money would actually reduce, and it will not be in favor of the masses. It will be in favor of these politicians, the influentials, the rich people, because at the end of the day things will become so expensive. Okay, when was the last time you spent 5 naira?
I've not even seen 5 naira.
Some people have not seen 5 naira in like 6 months.
I've not seen 5 naira this year.
Okay, 10 naira is in fact is just as useless as the paper to some people. So now imagine us having 5,000 naira in just a paper. I at that time maybe like 500 naira will start doing what 100 naira is doing right now. So people would the money would have no value. So there is no point, instead of trying to print 5,000 naira notes in one paper, trying to make the system and make it work. The existing system, let it work. If you want to go cashless, make the internet work well. The old banking system, the electronic banking system, let them work. Then we can know that yes, Nigeria is working. We don't need papers. You don't need to print money. We don't all those things. If the existing one works, and then they now try to bring in a new one, maybe it will work by then.
Okay, when we talk about problems Nigerians are facing currently, we'll start with Naira redesign, Naira here and there, and the next thing we'll talk about is what? Full scarcity, of course. And so that leads us to the next news, where we have 195 naira full enforcement. Ipman actually plans shutdown Monday. The independent marketers of premium motor popularly known as petrol, are getting set to shut down operation beginning from today, once the government starts enforcement. And later, we actually got to know that they have denied the claim that they are actually planning to go on any shutdown. They only said that they should give them little time to be able to, sort out the one that is down, so that they can be able to adjust to the situation. So according to them is that they said that right now, if they are to adhere to the 195 naira pricing, the marketers have to buy products using the NMPCL loading ticket, and if they don't have the ticket, all they have to do is close down their station. So you have to buy from NMPCL in order to be able to sell at the government regulated prices. That was their reason to saying they want to shut down. But they said that it's not like they said they want to shut down. What they are trying to say is that we are not shutting down, but we just need some time, because it's not everybody that will be able to get the ticket, considering the fact that the fuel itself is scarce. So, and sometimes if you don't even buy from the NMPCL and you just want to make sure you're selling, you're still in market, then you have to buy from independent marketers. And at the point of doing that, then they will sell to you at hiked price, of which you now have to sell back to your consumer at hiked price. So to get back to the regulated price of 195 naira is actually the problem. So in essence, the problem is because of the scarcity itself, the product scarcity from the general body.
If marketers should shut down, girl, we are in trouble.
Of course.
Because of course we still have stations, petrol stations that are still selling, regardless of the fact that it is scarce, they are still selling. Now imagine them shutting down. Thank you, Ipmanu, the marketers, the association, all of you guys. Thank you for not shutting down, because I don't want to picture what will become of Nigerians, what would happen to us. I don't even want to imagine it. I mean, a lot of things has happened. Okay, over the weekend I saw a particular thing. I just want to relate to the fact that we are going through hard times in Nigeria. Somebody said, what if come February 10, CBN and Buhari now says that everybody, I want to believe that people will not have much cash on them. Even if you do you can't have all your money, you can't have 100,000 naira cash on you. So they will not say all the money in banks. Everybody's money would have been in banks. So we are going to be shutting down everybody's banks. It is this money we used to pay Nigerians' debts. What would you do? Then somebody now responded to that tweet that, I asked the question, how do people even come up with things like this? Then the person was like, a lot of things, unimaginable things have happened in Nigeria. So this can actually still happen.
Who knew that Naira would be fighting against Naira?
Who knew? Who would have thought?
Never saw it coming.
If somebody had said a point would come where you would have to buy Naira with Naira, would have said, stop it, it's not possible. So anything, just think of anything imaginable. It can happen in Nigeria.
Of course.
So if marketers should shut down, I don't want to imagine what would happen to us in Nigeria. So they should regulate the price. See, it's not like they don't have this petrol. They have it. So what's not the problem? They're just trying to make us suffer.
Yeah, when we look at how things are going right now in Nigeria, I want to advise Nigerians, whoever you meet, just follow the 5 principles.
Oh.
Whenever you meet them, Alice, sorry, please, thank you. Can you please? I'm sorry, please, can you? Because everybody said up. Something happened earlier today, and a colleague of mine was so frustrated that he didn't know why he just gasped up, and I was like, what happened?
So much for somebody that wouldn't have said anything.
Exactly. Somebody that would have kept quiet. Whether you were pressing him, you just like, okay. As in, he voiced that, I was like, so you talk. Oh my God. So that is just to tell you that a lot of things are going on in Nigeria. So before you meet the next person, just be very careful, because your laugh can actually get to some people's nerve, and at the end of the day,
They'll just slap you.
they'll just slap you. Okay, in the other news we have boards once call members against political bias as well as unauthorized threats. The new DG of National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Yashau Dogara Ahmed, at the weekend told the corps members to avoid political arguments before, during, and after the February 25 and March 11 presidential elections. Ahmed, who cautioned the corps members against showing political bias, also advised them not to embark on any unauthorized journey that could undermine their security. Corps members, especially those who will be engaged by the Independent National Electoral Commission as ad hoc workers, should remain unbiased electoral officers in line with the provision of the amended 2022 electoral laws. So he was actually saying this while addressing the Batch A Stream 1 corps members who have their orientation program at the temporary orientation camp at the Government College at Kurumashi in Kaduna State. He actually said that unauthorized journey would attract sanctions as enshrined in the Scheme Act. And to me, I feel that they don't even need to be told. Because those people that did not even embark on unauthorized journey, they met their Waterloo, so to say. Those people that were actually just going to the camp for the service itself met something on their way. Not to now talk of you that you are now deciding to now decide by yourself to just go anywhere. So, and I pray for the protection of all corps members out there, the Batch A, Stream 1. I pray that God actually be with you in this trying time, because they will be the one that will be used for the electoral processes. Those that will not be used for electoral processes will be somewhere that is far from their home. Somewhere far from home. So when you are somewhere far from home, you need to use your 36, your senses, because you have to be very careful. While you are being careful, you should also pray not to be a victim of circumstance. Because you might be at your place of work and anything happens of which you're not praying. So without the DG even advising, you need to know that you need to not talk about anything electoral. At the same time, you should not talk about anything that would implicate you.
And be very careful. Don't be biased.
Exactly.
Whenever you're posted to any INEC office, or you are supposed to the election sport, or any assignment, any official assignment you're doing, just do it. Not like you get there and start arguing that no, it's Tinubu that wins, Peter Obi that wins, Buhari, it's Obasanjo that will win. If anything happens to you, then you'll be the author of your own,
the author and finisher of your own circumstance.
Alright, so
okay,
just be careful.
We have the major of which we started with, which is Lagos police arrest Yoruba Nation agitators. The Lagos State Police Command has arrested some suspected Yoruba Nation agitators in Alausa area of the state, Lagos. And the command spokesperson Benjamin Udeni actually made this known in a tweet on his verified Twitter handle on Sunday, where he said that the self-determination group had gathered to set up a camp agitating for the secession of Yoruba people at Alausa area of Ikeja. It was also said that no fewer than 10 Yoruba Nation agitators have been arrested by the Lagos State Police Command over an alleged plan to embark on protests in the state. The police, SP what's his name? Benjamin Udeni actually said that these people were planned to be using that as a base to launch protests, according to him. So he said the camp was promptly dislodged, and so they were unable to do whatever it is. But I want to just say this specifically, that Nigeria has misplaced priority.
All right.
It is the weak that they attack. They don't attack. You see, let me tell you something. Fine, Yoruba Nation agitator, IPOB agitators here and there. All of these people are just clamoring for what they feel like is right.
Okay.
You get my point?
Yeah.
They feel like Nigeria has failed us. Considering the whole thing that is happening in Nigeria right now, Nigeria has obviously failed us. But we feel like if Nigeria cannot save us, let's save ourselves as an individual. And that is what they are doing.
That's what they're doing.
You only suspected. Even according to the constitution, the 1999 constitution, it doesn't have any point, any part where it says that when you see certain people gathering, whether they want to pray or you don't even know what they want to do, you only suspect, you should arrest them. No. Hold on.
All right.
Does it in any way say that when you see people
Yes.
gathered, arrest them? That's the first thing I asked, right? And in any way, the terrorists that you even know their name, that you know their name, you know their base, they are coming out to even say that we are saying that you don't have, you are not saying that we are terrorists. All of that, you know those people. You did not go there to arrest them. You know of kidnappers that will even make video call. You don't understand, they will make video call with people that you can't even trace their IP address. That will call people on phone with burner cell phones, and you can't even trace that. You know, they will come out and say that we want this specific amount of money. Just last week we heard that some certain ISWAP, of which you've given them names, they came out, started giving Nigerians 100,000 naira each, and every point they gave the money, there was no checkpoints. You did not go for those ones. You are not going for armless citizens. Though I know that they can also be very stubborn sometimes. I'm not trying to support Yoruba nation either. But I felt like you should set priorities right. Do first thing first. The Kashika, what do you even mention that name? That you know is adult, that is coming out with that boldness to say shit, and you can't even arrest that one. But going for people that you don't even know what they want to do yet, whether they wanted to pray for the deliverance of Nigeria, you don't know. You only saw them camped together, and the next thing is that arrest them.
The fact that they were able to identify that they belong to the Yoruba nation.
Okay.
They, of course, it's a protest, and I think I'm not trying to, justify the government or trying to make excuses for them.
Okay.
But around last year, there was a protest by Yoruba nation agitators around Ojota,
yes,
and it led to the death of 1 or 2.
Yeah, sure.
So I feel that the reason the police just had to, you guys are not going to hold any protest because we don't want what happened last time to repeat itself. Now, I'm not even going to, I have no business with the arrest and all of those things. My point is, if Nigeria had worked, there will be no reason, no need for Yoruba Nation, Arewa, IPOB or anything. I think this is just a call. Fine, I understand that, you see, these people, they've worked so hard to, depart. They need secession. They just want to be on their own. But then, there is no secession that doesn't come with war.
Sure.
And it is not, it's not going to be like the First World War, Second World War. Things like this would actually sum up to war. Because at the end of the day, if Nigeria still does not work, these people will still keep clamoring for secession. They just want to be on their own. And they will start recounting how many of their members they've killed, how many times the police had arrested them, how many this, how many that. The old anger, they will turn it into a war, and then there's going to be a problem. If we can get to that point in Nigeria,
it's going to be brutal.
It's going to be very, very bloody.
But to be very honest,
yes,
can we just say that maybe they should just cancel anything that has to do with protest? Because over the years, whenever anything has to do with protest, we see, fine, police can be there, security officials can be there.
They're even supposed to be there.
Order.
Yes, for normalcy sake.
For no reason should any security official or protesters make use of ammunitions. And see, all of these things then, fine. So we've seen situations whereby some certain people are protesting and they just say they stray bullets and would go meet someone somewhere.
So that is even part of the protest.
So I just feel they should review that law, if there's a law that states that they should always shoot at protest ground. They should review it and make it that if anything that has to do with protest, please don't shoot. There shouldn't be any shooting. We understand the fact that you can make use of tear gas, just to control people and bring them to order. You can shout, yell at them, use your kondo olokpa, but don't shoot. That's shooting. This protest at Ibadan, fine, those people, I actually do not support them. You know, they were vandalizing government properties. But at a point, there was at a point where they shot gun and somebody died. Amongst others, the protest of NSAS and all, that one was even a massacre. Because not only one person died. So they should just, in a way, or maybe they should just say, we don't want anything protest, and Nigerians too should not protest.
It's not possible.
Maybe that's what they want.
It's not possible.
And isn't that the only thing that can secure people's lives? Even if it is ordinary student union. Student unionism, you see them come out to agitate, you know, protest for things they feel like it's not working. You see them with gun. Why? Ordinary end ASU strike. You see them with gun. Why?
This is a country where, without protest, security agents, they shoot at citizens.
Why?
Innocent citizens.
So all of these things that show that Nigeria has basically failed us
in every sector.
And reasons why people just feel, let us just go. Let's go to Northern Protectorate and Southern Protectorate, how it was before the whole amalgamation and all. But
sincerely speaking, I do not believe in the secession of a thing.
Do you feel
restructuring?
Before restructuring can work in Nigeria, it will take us another 10 to 20 years.
See, if it's going to take us forever, I don't believe in secession. I believe restructuring can actually still work.
Okay.
Because, anyways,
then time has actually passed us by, and we have little time to conclude. But I really need to talk about this because it's just like a certain group going forth and back. You know, they don't even know what they want to do. Tinubu most suitable to succeed Buhari, says Afenifere. Pan Yoruba socio-political group, the Afenifere Renewal Group, ARG, has declared that the All Progressive Congress presidential flag bearer, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is the most suitable and capable candidate to succeed Buhari in the presidential election that is forthcoming. And according to them, they actually declared Tinubu towered above all candidates, you know, jostling for the plum position. And they also said that considering all of the things that Tinubu has done, when we talk about his competence, when we talk about his experience, when we talk about his capacity, his pedigree, as well as strong political network, as well as record of service, they can't but just say, rather, that Tinubu is the best. The chairman of the adjoining local council development area of Ekiti State said other candidates were bereft of any record to flaunt to convince Nigerians that they have better programs than Tinubu. So just the way I've actually read this out, they can actually come out tomorrow and say that it's not Afenifere group as a whole, it's just the Ekiti chapter.
Yeah.
Whether Ekiti chapter, whether Oyo chapter, can't you guys just be united? And this takes me back to the whole of the restructuring and secession of the thing. You guys are not even united. Nigeria itself is not united, and that's the reason we're feeling like let's go our different ways. But you also that you're even agitating for secession, trying to say let's go our own way, you're not even united. Just last week we started hearing about this Yoruba nation that they said some certain person embezzled money, and because of that he said no, I'm a big boy, because of you alleged me of embezzling some certain money, because of that I cannot stay because you have alleged me wrongfully. So I can't continue because you don't even trust me. Amongst other things, there are some certain people you say this and that. So these people are not even united in their own shell.
Yeah.
And yet they are wanting a bigger picture.
When I saw the news of James saying, Tinubu is the best, and I'm like, where did you guys leave Peter Obi? Sometime around last year, you were saying that we were in support of Peter Obi, we've endorsed him, this and that, although they said Peter Obi's endorsement is sacrosanct. Okay. I mean, it's a kind of special, there's a reason to it. Even if there is a reason to it, if stick with one person, should we say, don't let me use that word, but then just stick with one particular person. Whichever way I know that everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Everyone is entitled to whoever they want to endorse. I'm not saying the fact that they endorse Peter Obi, they should not endorse another person. But the thing is, you people seem like let me say a particular group people look up to. So your own decision can actually affect other people's decisions. Of course, your group members would follow whoever you want to endorse, and it's not possible for you to vote for one person and still use that same PVC to vote for another person. Of course. So obviously there is a kind of apathy in the party. I don't know, they should just
So that is just to bring to the end of the show. And before we go, I feel like if this is a protest and there is no any level of violence, Nigerian Security Department should please desist from shooting at citizens, because we have made you the one to protect us. Don't be the one against us. If you can't be for us, then don't be against us. Just leave, because you can't continue terrorizing us within the states of the country. And a lot of people are even having reasons to not want to show what they feel in Nigeria any longer, because they are all trying to protect their head, that if we should go out to say this is what we want, what if they shoot us down, what if they gun us down? And a lot of things are now happening, and all kind of corruption and bad characters are now building up in the country, all in the name of I can't talk, if I talk they can gun me down and all of that. And also we are expecting that free and fair election will be the result of the February 25 general election, as well as March 11. So please, you all should go out and vote. Follower.
Yeah, I want to hope that before tomorrow, because you'll see us again on the show tomorrow. Before tomorrow, if you don't have your PVC yet, you would have had it before tomorrow. And when we're having tomorrow's show, you comment saying, I now have my PVC.
Okay, and again, before I go, I feel against all odds, those that has been arrested, the Yoruba Nation agitators, should be released, because it's not like they've done anything. They have not done anything, and it's not like they have ammunition or anything with them. So I want to believe that under normal circumstances, they should be released before. They shouldn't stay in prison for 24 hours, because that is still part of their civil rights. Thank you very much for joining us today. I remain Ayomiko, and this is News Review brought to you by Wisdomia Television. Thank you very much for joining us, and if you have to subscribe to that right now. And until next time, leaving you with a lot of love, joy, peace, and happiness. Bye.